Hi, my name is Francesca Pryor and I'm from the Employment Support Team at Southampton City Council. And today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how we can help you as a team to either find paid employment, look at volunteering or to upskill. The Employment Support Team has been around for 30 years this year, and we've spent the last 30 years supporting residents in Southampton to find employment and to follow their ambitions. We use the model of supported employment to work with all of our clients, and our philosophy is that anybody can work regardless of their disability or disadvantage, providing the right support is given in the right place and at the right time. What this really means is it doesn't matter what your barriers are to employment, we'll work with you to help you achieve your goals. So it's about helping you to find meaningful occupation, so real jobs for real people. Today's virtual jobs fair is just an example of that. We want people to learn how to look for work, and we want to support people to find jobs that they're genuinely interested in. It's not about a one-size-fits-all service. We work with everybody in a very person-centred approach, which means that you, as the client, are in the driving seat. We only look for mainstream employment. We don't have jobs on our books. We don't try and fit people and shoehorn people into any job that they're not interested in. It's really about making sure that it's the right job match for yourselves. We work with individuals and employers to achieve ongoing sustainable employment. And what that really means is that not only are we there to support you with any barriers that you might have, but it's also about supporting the employer to understand how best that they can support you. And we'll talk about this a little bit more later on. So how does it work? So we get to know you. We get to know you as an individual. Your employment officer will spend time finding out your likes and your dislikes, finding out what you want to achieve and what your goals are. And we'll help you do that job search. We'll help you look for the suitable opportunities that there are through training providers, local colleges, volunteering opportunities and paid employment. And we offer information, advice and guidance that's impartial. And we're very proud to have the Matrix accreditation, which means that we work using best practice to ensure that all of our information, advice and guidance is impartial, and you get to find out what you want to do and make decisions that are suitable for yourselves. So what does it mean about working with us and being one of our clients? It's really simple. We take time to get to know you. We find out what you want, what you need, how we can help you, how we can fill those gaps in your knowledge to help build your confidence and your self-esteem so that you're confident in going out and applying for jobs. You're confident in supplying your CV to an employer. We can also help you write your CV. We can help you write application forms, but we can also help you with interview preparation. We all know that interviews can be very daunting, and actually there's lots of different tips and techniques that you can use to make them just that little bit easier. And so we can work with you and we can help you and support you through that. If we're working with you and you're one of our clients, if you need us to, we can come to interview with you. And sometimes that's just about standing outside and talking to you and building your confidence up before you step in. And then other times that's about coming into the interview room with you and sitting behind you and being that friendly face in the room if that's what you need. For some people, we can go in and we can help job coach them. So lots of people are very capable of doing the jobs that they've applied for, but maybe they might need a little bit of extra help, either learning policies or procedures or just having the job broken down into smaller chunks, and we're there to help you. We can offer regular meetings with yourself and also your employer to make sure that everything's going okay and that everybody's happy. We can also help with access to work. Now this will help you have all of the aids and adaptations that you might need within your new job. So if you have a disability, then we can help you with an assessment to make sure that you get everything you need. And we can also help people retain their jobs. So Sometimes you have the honeymoon period and everything's going fine and you're loving your job and the manager's wonderful. And something really simple like a change in management can just upset the balance a little bit. And if that causes problems, then you can always contact your employment officer and we can come back in and we can talk to yourself and to your employer and help iron any problems that have appeared out. So we're fairly different in the city. We're quite a unique resource in the fact that we can work with people in such a person-centred way that we can pretty much build around you the level of support that you need. So as I've talked about before, we can do job coaching, task and job analysis. We can also go in and do disability awareness training for staff teams. We can advise people on aids and adaptations that might make things a little bit easier for you. When we go in to do some job coaching and support you in the workplace, if that's what's needed, then we'd fade away very slowly, but we'd also upskill the natural person that goes to mother the new person to show them the ropes of the new job. They're the people that we spend the time with to teach them how best to support you within your role. As I said, we don't go anywhere, so we're always monitoring and reviewing and making sure that you're happy in your role, seeing if there's anything else that we can do to support you. And what's really important to us is the feedback and evaluating not just our support to yourselves, but how your experience of working with us has helped you move forward. And that's also for employers as well, because we're not just we're not just working with you, you're not just our clients, the employers also become our clients. And so it's really important that everybody has a very positive experience when engaging with the employment support team. We also monitor and review. So as I said before, we don't just disappear once you've started your job. And that can just be very simply a telephone call, or it could be a couple of emails bouncing backwards and forwards, but it's about checking in and seeing how you are. We can also help develop relevant skills and help you look at career progression and think about where you might like to be in a couple of years' time. We're always trying to embrace new technologies, and certainly, where we are at the moment with pandemic and things, new technologies are springing up all over the place. So it's about supporting people to know how to utilise them and how to use them to help them move forward. But also we can help you negotiate increased hours. We can help signpost you if you're unsure about your benefits or tax credits and you want to have some further guidance. So within the employment support team, we support a wide range of people. This is just a few. So we work with people who are under the secondary mental health services. So if you receive any support from the community mental health teams, you just need to speak to your worker and ask to be referred to the IPS Southampton project. We also support Southampton City Council tenants. So we have, when we're allowed to be delivering face-to-face again, we have lots of community-based work clubs where you can come along. It's very informal. You can get just some informal advice and guidance, or you can sign up and we can support you on a one-to-one basis. We have a learning disability team, and that's working with 16 to 65-year-olds who are receiving support from adult services. We also have a NEETS provision called STEP, and that's actually supporting people who are 15 to 24 who are either not in any employment, education or training, or who are at risk of falling out. So if somebody is maybe finding it very hard to attend college, for instance, because it's just not the right option for them, and maybe they can't manage to attend, they would be considered to be at risk until they're formally asked to leave. And we would be able to support the young person to help them find something that would be a little bit more suitable and would motivate them to take that positive step forward. We also have another project, Solent Employment Support, which works with the unemployed people who have any form of health condition. And what's really important to remember about this project is that this is a Solent-wide project. So we have partners from Portsmouth City Council. So if you live in Portsmouth or Fareham, Gosport, then they would be able to help you. And if you live in Southampton, Eastleigh, Hedge End, Hythe, the Totton and Blackfield areas, then Southampton City Council would be able to help you. And we can help people who have just a very low level anxiety and depression. You might have been on some medication from the GP previously, and you might not now be on any medication. But if you have that, if you've had that experience, or if you have any form of disability or any other health condition at all, then that project can support you. We also have a perinatal mental health project called PATH. This is a very exciting project because it's not just about supporting the mum-to-be or the mum. So we can work with people from the day of conception all the way through to a year postpartum. We can also support the family who are supporting the mum. So if mum is suffering with anxiety or any other mental health condition during her pregnancy, and there are people around her who are supporting her, everybody would then be eligible for that project. What we can also do within this project is we can also support people to return back to work, either from maternity or paternity leave. Particularly for any partner who's maybe having the paternity leave and birth was quite traumatic, and they're finding it quite hard about the idea of re-entering into the workplace after such a short period of time. The project can support you and the employer. And so a lot of the work around PATH is around upskilling employers, upskilling health professionals, and supporting individuals to move forward into work or to return to work. We also have a 3-day employability course, and this is funded by our adult skills learning team. And the course itself is a very low level, very informal course, but what it does is it really focuses on building people's confidence and self-esteem, and helping people to just take control of some of the emotions and some of the fears that they might be feeling in order to help them take that positive step forward. And then we also have our ACL Offenders project. So if you are an offender or you are an ex-offender and you would like to participate in some learning or maybe upskill around using IT, for instance, or you're just looking for work, then we would be able to help you on that project too. What's really important is that although we have 2 different forms of support that we use, it's all around the individual. So it's very, very person-centred. So employment support is around putting all of the support around you as an individual and then helping you to move into employment or volunteering or training. Whereas IPS, which is used for the secondary mental health projects, that's around moving you into work and then putting the support in around you afterwards. So they're both very person-centred, they both achieve the same thing, but it's about working with you as an individual to find out what's going to be the best way for you and how we can best support you. So as I mentioned before, the Southampton City Council tenants project that we have, this is the work clubs. So the 2 things to note is that on the Monday morning at Lytton Library between 10 and 12, that's an open access work club. So when we are able to go back to deliver and see people face to face in the libraries, then anybody can attend and we can help you look for work or look over your CV or help you with those applications. And the same thing goes for the Thursday afternoon, and that's at the Central Library between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. Currently, we do have a virtual work club running on a Thursday between 3 and 5, and we're happy to set up breakout rooms so you can still have the confidential conversations one-to-one with an employment officer. It's just we can't come and see you and you can't come and see us. So we try really hard to set something up virtually that will support people going forward. I thought it was really interesting to just think about what difference working has made for lots of people. And for some of our clients, it's money driven. So they just feel that they're better off and that they've moved on from having to sign on at the job centre and to claim benefits, and they're economically more independent. For other people, it's about meeting new people and extending those social networks. One person said that they've got a better social life now. So when they were going out clubbing and things, they had people to engage in activities with. In fact, the same person said that on their 30th birthday, lots of people from work came out with him. And I think that it's that level of social network that we all kind of just dismiss and we don't think is particularly important, but actually it plays a massive part in building our self-esteem and our confidence. But also job satisfaction. So we help somebody get a job for a supermarket and they're working in security. And so, one of their highlights was that at Christmas they caught lots of shoplifters on the CCTV. So working has so many different benefits, and there are so many different barriers for people. But I think by working in a supportive relationship with an employment officer from the employment support team, we can help you overcome those barriers, and then we can help you move into the role that you would like to move into. Or maybe it's just about giving volunteering a going and dipping your toe, doing some work experience, anything like that, anything employment and training related, we'd be able to help you. The other thing to consider is maybe self-employment. So there are lots of different opportunities out there. So you can be classed as self-employed and work on a building site as a contractor. Even taxi drivers quite often are self-employed. So there's that route, but then there's also the routes that you can set up your own business. And there are lots of different support and provision in the city that can enable you to look at that to see if it's a viable option for you. Lots of people think that it's not an option because they're a bit scared about the expectations and where do they start? But a lot of our employment officers are able to sit and talk with you and give you some really good advice and guidance on where to start looking and the next step forward, really. So managing expectations, it's something that we do. It's not always the nicest part of our job, but it's about making sure that we don't set our clients up to fail. We want you to be successful. We want you to focus on your goals and we want you to achieve your goals. So we'll always be realistic and honest with you. And what we ask from our clients is that you're honest with us too. So who do we work with? We work with anyone who will benefit our clients. So we work with the job centre, we work with as many of the employers in the city as we can. We work with organisations such as the Prince's Trust and No Limits. We work with housing associations. We will work with anybody who's going to help you as our client. So whilst we're here to support you to move into employment and training, we're also able to link you in and to signpost you into any other organisations that you might need support from. So our call to action today is just speak to us about work. See how we can help you as an individual. Think about the employment support team. So thank you for listening to the webinar today. I hope you found it interesting. If you have any questions or comments, then please feel free to email me. My email is there, and also my contact number as well. So we're always open to feedback, always open to see how we can help you and how we can help employers. So we really hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.